Hey guys, just wanted to make this short video to show you guys how these little plants show up when I order them. But they're not all, you know, you don't get as lucky, right? It says live plants do not leave in mailbox. Please deliver to door. Thanks. So I live in a community where our mailbox, I don't know, I would say about 2 acres away from my property. I know a lot of people don't measure on acres, but yeah, out here there's plenty of them, and we still measure by that. But so it's a big old, I don't know, I guess communal mailbox where everybody drops off. All everybody picks up their mail, but point is, these were supposed to be dropped off one day later, and instead, I'm not complaining, they got dropped off a day before. But since I wasn't expecting nothing, I really wasn't looking at my notifications. So after being in the mailbox for a day and a half at 112 to 100 and 15, whatever these last days been, the middle of July. But point is, this stuff is going to happen to you guys if you order, and there's nobody home and you work and so forth, don't have a notification or whatever, but something like that. So come like this, right? And usually you get some pretty decent news, but it wasn't so this time, guys. I ordered some figs. Oh, you guys can even hear the crunch. Listen. Yeah, so let's see. We got one guy here, and the other one down here. All right, so obviously you can tell, right? Arizona, heat, mailbox. This is what you get. Anybody else, probably would have returned it, or I don't know, found a way to blame somebody, or get the return the product and either get your money back or a replacement. But truly, guys, this is my fault. It's nobody's fault. Usually we get happy when something gets delivered ahead of time, right? But when it's live plants, guys, we have to stay on it. So I'm gonna put these in the Scrappy ER, or in the Scrappy Intensive Care. It's in my tent to see if I can bring them back. This one looks like it will bounce back for sure. These, I don't know, guys. I guess we're gonna have to figure this one out together, but I mean, I don't want to say much, but I'm pretty sure I can bring them back. You know, this little guy, got all spotted from the heat. Same thing, they're these little plugs, guys. They're tiny. I mean, look, compare them to a Sharpie, right? That's your Sharpie cap. That's what it looks like, kind of deal. So they're tiny. I mean, if you want to compare the thickness, right? That's what, and I see a lot of people buy these and comment on these, and say they were dead, they were trash, and this and that. Guys, if you ever worked anywhere where, you're shipping stuff and so forth, there's a lot of hands that have to handle these products before they get it to us, and I believe that's a risk that we take when we order stuff that is, not native to where we're from, you know. But once again, guys, it's kind of the gamble that we take, right? I know that it's the gamble that I take, right? Sometimes they're going to be like this, and sometimes they're going to look. And this was the previous batch, right? So, like I say, we cannot blame it on the sender. This one came back, bounced back pretty quick, right? And we'll talk later about these. We'll see them also in the scrappy rehab so they can come back and get in better conditions. But we'll talk to those in another day, guys. But once again, to here, you know, but I mean, we will be giving updates on these guys, you know, to see who survives and who doesn't. Once again, it's 4 combined different types of figs, different varieties. And once again, guys, this is the experimentation that I'm doing here at the scrappy lot. It's, you know, putting in the varieties to see what really truly flourishes the most here in my land in Arizona, Zone 9B. And, you know, kind of annoyed by everybody saying you cannot grow this, you cannot grow that, and this and that. You know, let's give things a fair chance, right? A fighting chance. It's not like I'm not going to take this out to my backyard and plant it in 115 degrees, plant it outside and say, go, tree, go. You know? Come on, guys. Let's give everybody a fighting chance, okay? So we'll start with little and we'll move ourselves up, right? We'll keep these guys in observation. We'll see what happens. Obviously, I believe they're going to lose all this dead leaf, and let's see if we can get them to come back. I'm not going to transplant them today because I really don't want to mess with them. But after this, guys, they're going to go into like my regular system. You know, from here, I transfer them into some solo cups, you know, that way I can be observing their root system. And, you know, when I feel the root system is nice and fair, I up pot them from the solo cup up to a half-gallon bag. And once again, I do not up pot from there until it's fully rooted and ready to get, you know, transferred outside to the ground. So until then, guys, you know, we'll once again update you on these figs and see you here again at the scrappy lot.